Epidemiological methods. So epidemiology is concerned with the events or the diseases that occur in populations. Really, the individuals with the disease are going to be the numerator. How many cases do we have with particular conditions? And the first thing we can do is describe the characteristics of those with the disease. So if we have a population that we represent here with the in the orange disc here, then we'll have a population with some people with the disease and some people without disease. And we might say, well, what we want to do is to describe the conditions of the of these, and then we can describe the severity of those conditions, the causes and the consequences. We can look further. Once we've described the demographic characteristics and the clinical characteristics of those with the disease, we can go further into looking at the severity, the immunology, and many other things there. And we can look at risk factors and causes for those who have the disease and compare them to those who don't have the disease, so that we can get some idea of what might be the cause of the infection or the disease. We might then want to look at the consequences, what happens to people who, and so we follow up those ones with the disease over time, and we can see what happens to them, whether they get better, whether they get worse, whether they infect other people, and whether they die of that particular condition or any other consequences that we might have. The first thing I'll say here is that when we do these kind of epidemiological methods, we want to define our cases very clearly so that we know who we're talking about and what we're talking about. If we just say we're going to be looking at mental health, that's not a very specific condition. What we want to do is to say, what are the definitions of that mental health condition that we want to study? Is it focused on one particular condition, such as depression, or is it focused upon people who come to hospital with a series of different conditions that might affect their mental health? The next part of that is for any analysis, and going on from description to the analysis, then the population at risk will need to be described here. That is what I would call the denominator. The people who are at risk of this disease. We want to know how many people are at risk and to give the prevalence or the proportion of people who are with these conditions. But we might also want to know how long have people living with this at risk with the disease before they actually get the disease. And that will give rise to what I call the incidence of disease here. Just going to stop here and say to Joel, I see people would like to get to share the PowerPoint presentation I have here. Can you share that with everybody here? There's a couple of people who put their comments there. So can you share that, Joel, with everybody in the all the participants?
Yes, we will put all the content on the platform as well as on our YouTube channel. I've shared the two links. So kindly use the links to access all the materials. We will be uploading them after the call.
Okay, let's have a look. There's a couple of people with raised hands. Let me see if I can find who they are. And then I can ask them what they might say. So Kyoko, let me allow you to talk. Can you reach your and Elizabeth as well. Do you have a comment on what I've said so far?
Sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay, sorry, no problem, no problem. Kyoko Ndunda. Clifford, got your hand up as well, Clifford. No problem. Okay, you can unmute yourself if you want to talk. I'm going to mute Elizabeth in case any untoward noises come from there. Right. Okay, let's carry on. Where are we up to here? Yeah, good. Yeah,